What's up, YouTube? This is Cope coming at you for the first time in about a year. I stepped my game up on Yugioh. I stopped posting on this channel for a long time, but for the subscribers that stayed, you're going to be getting a lot of exclusive content. And I've definitely stepped my game up a lot in Yugioh. And I'm going to be bringing y'all some pretty exclusive stuff. I mean, boxes. I'm trying to do a box a week. About 2 deck profiles maybe every 2 to 3 days. So it's not going to be any of that petty stuff. It's going to be, some of the good stuff. And this is the new format that just got launched a few days ago. This is the July, I want to say, or whenever Konami wants to announce it. But it is the July ban list with all the ban cards taken out. So without further ado, let's get into this deck profile. So first off, we have 3 of, I want to say, the best card in the deck. This card is a very power play card. I mean, if you open it, you generally can set up. And with that being said, since you don't have the Degen lock anymore, you really have to be focusing on turboing and keeping your monsters safe because you want to kill your opponent as fast as possible now. This Gen lock kind of made the deck slow. It kind of made you want to turtle, sit behind 3 Valkyries. And I never like to play decks like that. I like to play decks that are combo heavy and takes a lot of thought, and this deck just takes the cake for that. So we have his brother basically sends you. He does the same thing except for he search monsters, and the other one search spells. Now for our one of the Nekroz is gonna be Shrit. Shrit's a really good card, but do I hate that it went to 1? No, not really. I only ran it at 2. It's not gonna hurt me too much to run it at 1. I mean, I can't run decisive armor anymore because, let's just be honest, Trish is a lot better and you need to utilize Shrit for your Trish plays. And, yeah, I mean, the Shrit. Now, for my, the last non-ritual monster I have in here is a tech that a lot of people don't agree with, but once you see it, you're probably like, it's definitely going to be Gores. You run fair to no back row. Gores helps me with my OTK. I sit back on a Manju that I just searched on, it dies, and they try to swing for a big push, and I Gores their biggest monster. Next turn, I either have a 28 and Gores' 27 to put alongside my ritual monsters and try to go for a big push or game. Yeah, so Gores kind of test it, works. Now, Trishula is my next card up, and yes, I do run 2 of her because the card didn't get hit. Everybody thought it was going to get hit. It didn't. And I went ahead and picked up another one. This card is Jesus. Like, it rapes the format. If you can open Trish first turn against your opponent, it's going to hurt them pretty bad. It's going to neg them 3 cards according to how they set up their field and their grave. But there's a lot of cards in my deck that I run to set up the field and grave. And if they leave a card in hand, they're leaving themselves open. The card up is going to be Brio. Set 2, so you need to run 2. It searches literally all your Nekroz monsters, even Shrit, and that's a big play. Next up, I want to say the best card in the deck, just for sheer defense and draw power, is going to be Valkyries. She is, how can I say, a god card, honestly, because she's 29. She's really hard to get over. Lets you draw 2 cards, clean your board out so you don't get trished, and she can negate attacks. I mean, it's an all-around solid card. Next up, Yugioh. It did not get hit on the normal list. It did get hit on the ARG list, but hey, we got to get what we can get, guys. We need to run 3 of her. Now, little guy, Colossus, used to be the Gen, whatever, but no, not anymore. But I still run 2. Just because it still helps you get to your combo pieces, and that's really it. That's really it. It doesn't degen anymore, so it really doesn't have any use in the deck. Some people might cut to 1, but I still like it at 2, just because I want to get to my combo pieces pretty fast. I'm gonna show you some spell cards that I use with him. And Shrit, obviously I'm talking about Rhoda. But last card is gonna be Gun. I love Gun. She helps me She helps me protect my cards because you're going to need that. This format, you're going to need to be able to keep monsters on board and nothing in hand because Trish exists for everyone now. So you're definitely going to need to run her. She's going to save your cards, and that's a big play this format. So we're going to move along to spell cards. That is it for the monster lineup. So the spell cards I run, first off, for Geki, you're playing a combo deck. I took out the Dark Holes because of the gen doesn't exist anymore, so you don't really need any more field removal except this and go for a big mighty push. Next up is Prep. I mean, enough said. Book of Moon, still a wonderful card, a one of, but it is amazing. Like, Burning Abyss, you open this, you're generally gonna neg them a few cards, and other decks that try to OTK you, anything, Book is just really good. And also, if you go for a Trish play and they try to break your Skillet or Fiendish, you just like, ha, resolve. So, Book is still good. Next up for resolving Trish is not one, not two, but 3 Lance, because Lance protects your Trish play. My deck is surrounded around Trish, and I think everyone's deck needs to be surrounded around Trish this format, because Trish exists for everyone. So you need to bump up the Trish as you main, and protect that Trish. This card used to be used to protect in Genlock, but people, it's just like Windups. When Windups was at full power, there was more focused on hand loop than OTK. But when everything got hit, and they was like, oh man, we could do an OTK with this deck, you still could have did an OTK with that deck. You just ran the hand loop. Keep field presence. Keep your monsters safe. And if they attack you, you lance them. You attack them, you lance, blah, blah, blah. Lance is just a really good card. Drops by 800, so easily stuff can get over it. Next up is the formula, which is going to be 2-2-2 formula. I mean, I don't have to talk too much about these cards. They've been out for long. Next up is going to be MSTs. I've seen people not maining these. I chose to run 2, not 3, because floodgates still exist, and it helps you get your combo pieces off. You go Manju, they go anything. You're like, no, I'm going to continue my Manju, and you just got negged one. And the last up is Rhoda. Rhoda searches out your Shred. You need it. I added out to not run just 1, but 2, and not run 3. Because I don't need Colossalus too much as I did last format, but you need that Shred, and you want to be able to get to it. Last up is going to be my trap cards, and yes, I do run trap cards, but I'm not dumb. I'm not going to run a lot because I do sideboard Nekroz, but 3, my crush, because this card was big popping back in the last format. And people it kind of dropped off of the main and went straight to the sideboard, but come on guys, if I open this card, I get the neg card out of their hand to put fuel in the grave for my Trish. And if I open 2, oh my good God, I'm going to neg you like 4 or 5 cards, because I'm going to resolve this and I'm going to resolve my Trish. And if this resolves and my Trish resolves, I mean, you might as well go to sleep, guys. So we're going to go over to the extra deck. This deck really doesn't need an extra deck because the Lava Chain got hit, but we're going to go with Nekroz Emerald, Exciton. These are just obvious cards. Now, Crazy Box, I opted that in for Skill Drain. You can still make your plays on Skill Drain, but nothing works, so I would say Crazy Box just to have a 3K. Also, speaking of Skill Drain, Dark Rebel really works with Skill Drain pretty well. This just to clear your field and pop a card so you can continue your searches. Everybody need a Cowboy. Just such a good card. Castell, obviously, you gotta have that card. Now, Leo for your what is it called? Nekroz. One of the spell cards. I'm kind of going blank right it. I want to say it's Kaleidoscope, but yeah, I forgot which ones you use for him, but you need him. Definitely Quasar for your Unicorn and Vault play. That's such a huge amount of damage on board. If you can pull that off alongside of a 14, I mean, you're gonna hit your opponent out for a lot. I run 1/6 for my Brio play, and I tried to pick the most stupidest one I could find, so her. And you get up Arclight. Definitely the best card in the extra deck because you can search off Kaleido. And that about wraps it up at 10 minutes, guys. I'm sorry it took so long, but that is my Nekroz deck for this format. Remember, this card's good. And until later, peace, guys.